Very excited about the content that we can provide there. All right, let's move on. Are you hungry? Have you had lunch yet this Sunday afternoon? What's for dinner? How about a little taste of Italy? Wouldn't it be nice if you could run outside, clip a couple of gorgeous tomatoes, some beautiful, delicious basil, and whip up the best Italian sauces, maybe bruschetta. I just like a straight up tomato sandwich. Cheese, mayo, tomato, and salt. So good, and it's so much better when it comes right from your garden. So this is our 4-piece Taste of Italy vegetable garden. You get 3 varieties of tomatoes. So you will be getting the baby Roma tomatoes, the Maxwell's big Italian tomatoes, and you have to say it like that, and the San Marzano tomatoes. And then you're also getting a very special type of basil that's coming to you. And these are great because you can put these out in your garden bed. You could plant them separately, put them together, however you want. Maybe you want to gift some of the tomatoes and keep the rest for yourself, but you get all of it for $24.50. We have 3 flex payments, of course that free shipping and handling, and they're gonna come to you like this, and in a matter of no time, you're gonna be turning out stuff like this. So Rochelle, let's talk about our little taste of Italy and what we can do with this variety of tomatoes and basil.
Oh, okay, so I just have to say, this is a great collection of tomatoes. I can't fault any of them.
Love the basil.
You're gonna get fantastic tomatoes right at the right time. And that is really important because if you've ever planted tomatoes or any vegetables really from, you know, the small sort of starts that's what we refer to these as, that you've picked up at a box store or a nursery, you know, they get very picked over very quickly.
Yep.
They are a little bit sensitive to mistreatment and they tend to get mistreated. And so they're often very beat up. These are going to arrive to you at just the right time, healthy, straight out of the nursery, as healthy as they can possibly be. And so you're not going to have to deal with that kind of like, oh, I hope this thing survives. But here's the thing that I love about this collection the most. It is the basil. The basil is mind-blowing. I have grown basil. I grow it every year. It's one of my favorite things. There's nothing better than walking by a basil plant in the garden and just, you know, getting bowled over by that basil smell in the hot sun. But the great thing about this is if you've ever grown basil, what you know about it is that it has a tendency to do what we call bolting, which means it throws out flowers. And once a basil plant throws out flowers, the leaf flavor tastes different. It gets a little more bittery. I mean, it's okay, but it's not as good as when it's not flowering. And the thing is, so what you find yourself doing if you're a basil grower is you're constantly walking by pinching all the little flowers off so that you don't have those funny tasting leaves. This does not bolt. This is the coolest thing. I grew it, I think last year or maybe it's the year before. It stays in this nice columnar form. It got about, 2 feet tall, never bolted, was the nicest little, I mean, it was like almost like a little evergreen shrub, just like I had it planted in a container. It was fantastic for its shape, its tidiness, and the fact that it never bolted. It never threw out those flowers.
Yeah.
I didn't have to constantly worry about pinching them off, and I had basil all season long. So I think that this Greek basil, the compact Greek basil, it is such a good thing. It's such a game changer, really, if you're a basil lover and you've grown it before. It's really very different than any other basils and really great.
Look how red and beautiful and juicy these tomatoes look too. And 3 completely different varieties, the baby Roma, the big Italian, and then the San Marzano. So tell me about those.
Yeah, so I mean, all 3. I mean, we're trying to cover all the bases here. There's a good sauce tomato with the San Marzano. Those are the ones that you know from any Italian cooking show or whatever. They're unique to Italy. You get them in the market. Think of these as your own fresh version. And then you have the baby Romas, which are great for salads and all those kind of just quick pop it in your mouth. They're a little bit pear-shaped. And then, of course, my favorite are the big ones. I love a big, giant tomato that, you can slice, you can, do whatever makes salads with. I like to put it with the cheese and all that. But a big, healthy tomato. And all of them, I have to say, if you've not ever eaten the tomato fresh from the garden, you have missed one of the greatest things in life. And you must grow a tomato and eat it straight out of the garden because it really does taste entirely different than what you might buy in the grocery store that's been on a truck for a few days trying to make its way to you. It is so much better.
Have you seen how expensive produce is right now? I mean, So I think a lot of us are looking to maybe grow our own varieties, and the tomatoes and the basil would be a really easy, fun, delicious place to start. So yeah, that is a perfect option.